Rush Hour is just getting started on Beaver County Radio. It's time for Driving in the Fast Lane with Frank Sparks. It's the show that talks about what's happening in the news, locally, regionally, and nationally. There will be guests, and Noah Haswell will have the news of the top and bottom of each hour. And now, here is the host of the show, Frank Sparks.
Hey, good morning and welcome to Driving in the Fast Lane for a Wednesday morning. And it's not as cold today as it was yesterday. I wish it was a little bit warmer like this today than it was yesterday. A very cold day for Veterans Day Parade. And yesterday would have been Brandon Antinopoulos' normal day here, but he graciously is coming today so that we could carry coverage of the parade yesterday. So we'll be talking with Brandon in hour one, and then in hour two, we're going to talk about that mess in Pulaski with the police department, and coming out yesterday that a council member has a personal agenda. We're going to read an email that we received from somebody within Pulaski as well, plus all the other comments and everything that happened from that meeting at the Pulaski Police Department with them switching to Beaver Valley Regional. And then also we're going to talk about the government shutdown. And so they have this huge bridge, and Brandon, I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen that really big, huge bridge they built in China that was over the hydrostatic plant?
I saw a video of this. I didn't really get the details of it, but he talked about the one that just collapsed.
It collapsed this morning.
Yeah.
It just opened a couple months ago, and now it collapsed. I'm like, well,
I guess for some things like, safety inspection and certain regulations and processes, yes, it may take a little bit longer, but
right.
That's probably good to have them for something like that. It would be my guess. I don't know the details of what happened, but I saw and just,
It makes you think, you see something like that, you're like, okay, you're going across the bridge. Is that going to happen this time? Especially if you're in China after that.
Oh, and to think all the times I drove across the Falston Bridge and rode my bike across the Falston Bridge growing up.
Right, and then to find out that it was pretty much, you should be using it. So, but Brandon, good morning to you. Thank you for coming in this morning.
Good morning. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for shifting a day so that we could carry coverage of the parade yesterday.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure.
It was very cold yesterday.
Yeah,
for sure,
it was.
Yeah, so why don't you start out this month? As far as I know, right now we're still on the air. So last month we had a little bit of problem. We were in a good conversation talking about Medicare and the open enrollment period. And unfortunately, the guys at Xfinity decided they want to cut a cable out front, and it was weird because we had said, okay, well we'll just do it, whatever, and then not 10 minutes after you left, they were able to piece it back together, and we were back on the air. I was like, oh, man.
And, who knows, might have been some of those insurance companies I talk about, coming and cutting the lines right at the opportune time.
Yeah, never know. So, well, tell us a little bit about Forward RX.
Yeah, sure. So Forward RX Pharmacy, we're located at 809 3rd Avenue in New Brighton, right next to the old Rite Aid in town there on the main street. We opened in May of 2024, so we're going on 18 months that we've been in business now. We're, your local independent pharmacy. Our only thing is we decided to eliminate insurance middlemen that come in between, the medications that your doctor wants you to be on and the medications that pharmacies dispense. Anymore, we're finding that the more middlemen, including insurance, that you have involved in that whole transaction, it's now starting to drive up prescription costs, both premiums for employers, premiums for the government, premiums for people that pay for their own insurance, as well as out-of-pocket costs. So what we do is we just take whatever it costs us to get the medication to put it on our shelf. We do a simple, transparent markup to come up with our price. So it's cost plus pricing that we use, and it works very well with generic medications. So 90% of the medications that are dispensed in the U.S. are generic meds, and 89% of those cost less than a cup of coffee for me to put on my shelf. So it doesn't really make sense to use insurance for low cost, predictable things like generic medications. You think about what insurance is intended for: high cost, unpredictable events. Say anyone who has car insurance, if you're going to file a claim on your auto insurance, what happens?
Rates go up.
Yep, your premiums go up. So whenever you use it, premiums go up. It's no different in healthcare, but the only difference is we've been led to believe that we need to use insurance for everything to get the best bang for our buck. And what we're finding is that's not the case. So that's why we made the decision to not contract with the insurance middlemen and just offer transparent upfront pricing to everyone that we take care of.
So how does the industry itself, the larger part of the industry that does do that, how do they accept exactly what you're doing at Forward RX?
How do they accept what we're doing?
Yeah,
like, are they
because,
receiving to it or not?
Yeah, are they like, all right, don't go there. He's, this and that. And they're trying to make it look bad to do what you do when actually it's a good thing.
Yeah, sure. I would say from a pharmacy standpoint, when I talk to other pharmacy owners and other pharmacists in chains also, I think there's a little bit of jealousy. The model of pharmacy for so long has been, you sign these contracts knowing that you're not going to get paid enough money from the insurance companies on a certain portion of prescriptions you dispense. So I think the latest statistic I saw was about 40% of what pharmacies dispense, they don't even get paid enough from the insurance company to cover their costs. But they do that in hopes that they can kind of price gouge you in other places to make up for it. So at the end of the day, it all kind of evens out. But more and more, your local community pharmacy, and again, this is independents, chains, at any place that you walk into a pharmacy and you're going to get a prescription from them, or they send it to you. The number of prescriptions that they dispense that they're not making money on, so brand name drugs, $0 copays, any like the discount coupons that they take, the number of the highly profitable prescriptions or services that they would cover their losses on, all those are being steered out of their pharmacy into insurance-owned mail order pharmacies or what's considered specialty pharmacies. So
is that kind of what did Rite Aid in?
Yes.
The
yeah.
40%?
So a big,
Okay.
a big part of that. You've seen a lot of independent pharmacies close. Now you're seeing chain pharmacies close. You're even seeing the big names like Walgreens and CVS start to close some of their locations and be really thoughtful about where they're going to put pharmacies or not. And so, this kind of, that business model just doesn't work anymore. And so for us, we just made the decision of we don't feel like it's right that we should have to lose money and make up for it by price gouging people. So we're just going to not do that. And but unfortunately, that means that we can't accept any contracts because the insurance contracts don't actually allow pharmacies to charge a reasonable, affordable, no insurance price.
How do they get away with that? Realistically.
There's no law that says they can't do that, and the pharmacy signed the contract to do that. So because it's in the contract, they have to abide by the contract.
Why would you sign a contract that says you're going to lose 40% of the things you do, you're not going to make money on?
Dave Ramsey would not be happy with the with the pharmacy industry,
right.
For sure. I know, and again, I think it's likely what you're going to see if there's not drastic changes within the next 2 to 3 years, even not even talking about decade down the road, but within the next 2 to 3 years, if you're someone who relies on insurance benefits, it's likely only going to work at CVS, a grocery store pharmacy, or a mail order pharmacy that's owned by the insurance. I think you'll still have local independent pharmacies, like us, but likely for them to stay in business, they're going to have to not sign those contracts. Yeah. But again, I think we're all about again, transparency, affordability, and patient choice is our motto. So even if something where I'm not the most affordable price for someone and they're better off using their insurance benefits, we up front tell that person, and try to help them again navigate such a complex world of prescription drugs and really put their best interests above profiteering and patient steering. So I actually hope we get more pharmacies doing the stuff like we're doing.
You think that'll drive the price down some of these
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Gouging?
Yeah, we really don't have free market healthcare, or like everything is again based on your insurance telling you where you can go or where you can't go, being very hidden about what things actually cost, or even something that may be a zero copay for you. They're actually billing your employer or Medicare $5,000 for something that we fill for $40. So there's a lot of, again, I just say the industry is based on profiteering and patient steering, and so we're trying to get rid of that. And the more pharmacies that start doing things like we're doing, I really believe you'll start to see prices come back down. Yeah.
So because it's confusing when you look at your medical card and it says about your prescriptions and all that. If someone brings like their medical card to you and their prescription of what they're taking, are you able to tell them if it's more beneficial by doing that, by helping them? Because a lot of times it's confusing for people.
Yeah, I think a lot of that will at least guide them if it is an insurance benefit. They'll have to reach out to their insurance provider to see how much a medication would cost through their benefit. Since we're not contracted, we don't have the ability to look at that information for them. But a lot of the, I call them the insurance middlemen. Their technical term is a pharmacy benefit manager. They're the company that manages the pharmacy benefits on the medical insurance's behalf. However, if you look at the big three insurance companies, the PBM or the pharmacy benefit manager is actually owned by the insurance company, and they own their own pharmacies.
As you're saying that, I'm just seeing dollar signs in my prices going up more because now you got to pay the middleman on top of it.
Yes, yeah,
okay,
complete vertical integration, and so in that case, but they do have patient portals that make it a little bit easier that you could type in what the drug is and what dose you're on, and whether you want a 1 month supply or a 3 month supply, and they could tell you what your out-of-pocket price would be at a contracted pharmacy. We do at times we'll look at a GoodRx coupon price. We don't participate with GoodRx. Most of the time, our prices are around the same price or less expensive than what a GoodRx coupon would be. Not all the time, though. But at the same time, GoodRx, they actually, you don't see it, but they do actually charge you to use the coupon. Let's say you go to use a GoodRx coupon and it's telling you, you're only going to pay $30 for this $800 drug at, a pharmacy like Giant Eagle. You go to use it, you pay $30, but Giant Eagle may only get paid $15. So they're telling Giant Eagle, like, hey, collect $30 from Frank, but next month we're going to claw back $15 in that fee that he doesn't know about. So you only get, less.
Right, I get you.
Less money.
Okay.
And then also they got in trouble a couple years ago. They were without permission selling patient data and prescriber data to Google and Facebook. So every time you use that, they were collecting data on you and they were selling it. So if you ever, want to get a prescription filled for, a condition, and then the next day you notice a bunch of other ads popping up on Facebook or in your inbox for other supplements or services for that condition, GoodRx got in trouble for doing that. So we don't do GoodRx either. But at least if there's something significantly less expensive, we just had this the other day. It was a blood pressure medication, not very common, but the patient couldn't tolerate any of the other, typical blood pressure meds. It was going to be like $93 for a month's supply through our price, and a GoodRx coupon for around that price. They could have got a 3 month supply elsewhere. So we at least, let them know. Again, that's the nice thing with our model. We put your needs before ours because that's how our pricing and the kind of our business model works. So we don't have to steer you and profit off of you. And even though we told him like, hey, you could actually save money by going this way, he said, that's okay. I completely trust you. I want you to fill it. But, thanks for letting me know. So again, and that comes down to the patient choice. Everyone's free to make their decision of where do I want to put my money, who do I trust, or what's my tolerance if I want to save a buck or not. And if we feel as long as we can be upfront about it as possible and help people find what's their best option, insurance, a discount coupon, filling somewhere else. I'm sure next year we're going to be making referrals to Trump RX on brand name medications.
Okay.
But again, it just comes down to our mission to bring transparency, affordability, and patient choice back to healthcare.
All right, we're visiting this morning with Brandon Antinopoulos. He is from Forward RX in New Brighton. And we're going to take a break, and we're also going to have news. And when we come back, we're going to talk about a couple new services that are very exciting that are going to be happening at Forward RX. And if you have questions as well, you can call at 724-774-1888 and 843-1888. We'll be right back after this.
It might be time to repair or replace that old garage door. Call on Robin and her team of expert installers at Electric Garage Door Sales in Monaca. Dial 724-774-3200 and your door will work like a charm. Featuring CHI quality garage doors, LiftMaster garage door openers, and over 50 years experience, Robin and her team will get it done right. Electric Garage Door Sales. Give them a call at 724-774-3200 or find them online at electricgaragedoorsales.com.
J. Young Refuse and Industry is proud to be an integral part of Beaver County for the past 36 years. Featuring a wide range of recycling services for contracted areas, they are sure to help you get the job done. The J. Young Refuse team of professional drivers consistently exceed safety and service throughout the day, while their customer service representatives take professionalism to the next level. J. Young Refuse offers both commercial and residential pickup as well. Call J. Young Refuse at 724-495-6199 today. Get ready for the 9th annual Holly Jolly Christmas Concert, December 6th at Hopewell High School. An all-star lineup including Bailey Taylor and the Holly Jolly Band with Joe Monroe, Danny Gotchnauer, Hermie Granati, and more will perform Christmas songs. The Holly Jolly Horn Section and Hopewell High School Drumline and Chorus will entertain too. Tickets cost $20 for adults, $5 for children 6 and older. Available at the B.F. Jones Library, the Medicine Shop, Friendly Federal Credit Union, and at the door. Proceeds benefit Hopewell School's music programs and the B.F. Jones Library. Come out and get jolly December 6th.
If you're looking forward to stuffing the turkey this year, you'll be even more excited about stuffing your pockets at Moon Township Ford. Friday, November the 28th is Black Friday, and that means a special weekend of Black Friday deals. The ones you've been waiting for all year long. Visit Moon Township Ford during Black Friday weekend and get a $500 gift card with every delivery on Friday and Saturday. That's $500 in your pocket and a brand new vehicle from Moon Township Ford in your driveway. What a weekend! Here's your chance to start 2026 with just what you're looking for. A chance to save during the Black Friday weekend celebration. Get a $500 gift card with every delivery Friday and Saturday at Moon Township Ford, University Boulevard in Moon Township.
Balcones Moon Township Ford, where friends send friends.
Beaver County Radio and Fry Transportation are on the move, and they're coming your way with the best Beaver County has to offer. You're listening to Beaver County Radio, proudly presented by Fry Transportation.
Hey, it's Charlie and Debbie, along with NASCAR legend Kyle Petty, inviting you to join us for Kyle Petty's Back Then Again Country Countdown.
Each week, we'll put it in reverse and take a trip down memory lane, looking back at that week's top 20 country songs from years past.
We'll dive into what made those songs and artists move the needle, what pop culture trends made those years unique.
And you'll get to hear me tell stories only I can tell.
So don't miss Kyle Petty's Back Then Again Country Countdown right here each week.
Saturdays at noon, brought to you by Falcones Moon Township Ford, the Latham team at EXD Realty, Canoes Body Works, and Beaver County Radio.
Gordon gratified by Larson Title. I'm Susie Armstrong. The story next on NASCAR Today. All the car parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things, like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
The mix of salty sea air and burnt rubber. The big skies, high banks, and grandstands. The rumble in your chest. That's what we love about the Daytona 500. Honoring history and making it. at the biggest race of the year on the biggest stage of a lifetime. The Daytona 500. You got to see it to believe it. February 15th, 2026. Secure your experience now at Daytona500.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon, vice chairman of Hendrick Motorsports, sang the praises of Kyle Larson and his number 5 team after they captured the 2025 NASCAR Cup Series championship. With 4 Cup titles of his own, Gordon knows how hard this group worked for their second one.
I couldn't be more proud of the leadership of Cliff Daniels and the leader that Kyle Larson has become with that team too. For them to stick together and come through all that and not have those wins to fall back on, but still had just consistent finishes. And you saw it building throughout the playoffs. Hey, don't count these guys out.
I'm Susie Armstrong. This is NASCAR Today on the Motor Racing Network.
Beaver County Radio's news source. 99.3 FM, 1230 WBVP, and BeaverCountyRadio.com. Here's Noah Haswell.
Good morning. On this Wednesday, November 12th of 2025, we will have a complete Beaver County radio weather forecast after we take this look at news. A local township has residents concerned over a change in police departments. Here's Beaver County Radio's Curtis Walsh with more.
Despite strong opposition from community members, the Pulaski Township supervisors voted 2-1 to switch to the Beaver Valley Regional Police Department at Monday night's meeting. As community members were voicing their opinions during the public comment section of the meeting, the supervisors cut their comments short and decided to take an immediate vote. Following the 2-1 vote, most residents began walking out of the building. Residents say they are still gathering signatures for a petition to take a public vote in the spring, hoping to be able to reverse the decision. A big focus throughout the entire ordeal has been the New Brighton Elementary and High Schools, which are located in Pulaski. You can read the full story at BeaverCountyRadio.com. From Pulaski, I'm Curtis Walsh reporting for Beaver County Radio News.
The gift card balances for Pittsburgh International Race Complex in Wampum are now being refunded because of the raceway closing. You can call 724-535-1000 as soon as possible and provide the gift card number or a copy of the receipt. December 22nd, 2025 is the last day to claim a refund. A special food distribution will be hosted by Healing Hunger Beaver County's Little Free Pantry on Saturday, November 15th at House of Prayer Lutheran Church in Aliquippa from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Distribution of ready-to-eat meals, shelf-stable food items, and personal hygiene products for individuals and families in need will be in the Fellowship Hall of the church, which can be accessed off of 21st Street. The restaurant Sushi Wa, which serves sushi and other Japanese dishes, has now opened officially in Center Township, and it is located in the Lowe's Plaza off of Route 18 on 115 Wagner Road. The new dining spot replaces the former New Century Chinese Buffet, which was in the same location. The dates and times it is open can be found on our website at BeaverCountyRadio.com. According to a release in Gibsonia on Monday from St. Barnabas Health System, they recently announced the appointment of Douglas W. Day as its new president and chief executive officer, effective January 1st, 2026. Since its founding in 1900, Day becomes the fourth person to lead St. Barnabas Health System, one of the most respected organizations for hospitality, retirement living, and healthcare in Western Pennsylvania. Day previously served in the role of Senior Vice President of St. Barnabas Health System since 2003. U.S. and Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman's new memoir titled Unfettered came out yesterday, which highlights the personal struggle that Fetterman had with his mental health. Fetterman hopes to help others in the United States of America who struggle with depression to persevere through their obstacles. And baby formula manufacturer ByHeart recalled all of its products sold nationwide yesterday. The move comes days after some batches were recalled amid an expanding outbreak of infant botulism. According to state and federal health officials, at least 15 babies in 12 states have been sickened in the outbreak since August, with more cases pending. One of the states with these cases was Pennsylvania. Parents and caregivers who have the formula in their homes should immediately stop using it and dispose of the product. For our weather forecast today, we have scattered showers before 1 p.m., then isolated showers after 4 p.m., otherwise cloudy skies with a high near 46. Tonight will be cloudy skies, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with a low of around 33. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny skies with a high near 48. And on Friday, it will be mostly sunny skies with a high near 52. That's your Beaver County Radio weather forecast. And that's a look at the news for now. I'm Noah Haswell on 99.3 FM, AM 1230 WBVP, 95.7 FM, and 1460 AM WMBA. Also streaming live around the world at beavercountyradio.com.
You're driving in the fast lane with Frank Sparks on 99.3 FM and 1230 WBVP. You can also stream live on beavercountyradio.com.
It's 10:36 in Beaver County, and it is right at 42 degrees and under cloudy skies. It's already November the 12th. We're just a couple weeks away from Thanksgiving already. It's so hard to believe. It seems like this whole year just blew by, did it not?
Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, my kids are ready to blow right by Thanksgiving, get right straight to Christmas.
Yeah, they're ready for Christmas time, aren't they, Alda?
Yeah. I
mean, so we're visiting this morning with Brandon Antinopoulos from Forward RX, talking about a couple different things, talking about, direct pricing, which Brandon has, which is one of the great things, and how the insurance companies get away with what they get away with. But now we're going to kind of pivot a little bit and talk about exciting things. You got a couple new exciting things coming to Forward RX.
Yeah, we do. So, we've been growing over the last 18 months that we've been open, so it's been very exciting. So we're at the point now where we're going to start expanding some of our service offerings. So really excited about that, even just knowing kind of what the closures of the Rite Aids, and that's kind of left people with less access of options for pharmacies, or even the pharmacy options that they ended up in. Been just hearing how much of a challenge it is to be able to interact with those pharmacies, get their prescriptions filled, and things like that. So we feel like this is a good time for us to grow the services that we offer to try to reach more people and help more people. So some of the things that we're going to start to do and are available now is delivery service. So we've been kind of to the point where we'd offer delivery if someone needed it, especially if they lived in between New Brighton and Conway, where I live, and I could take them their medication, after the pharmacy would close. We're going to start offering delivery service to all Beaver County residents. So if you're someone who, thought about using us, but maybe the hours just weren't right, or it was a challenge for you to come down to get to New Brighton, we're going to make it easier to get to you. So we can deliver your medications next day. It would just be $4 is what we'll charge for the delivery service. If you're not a member at the pharmacy, if you're someone who is a member at the pharmacy, we're going to include that delivery free of charge for 90-day supplies to get out to you. So hopefully, again, thinking of just some areas where those Rite Aids closed and no pharmacies have gone back into those areas, we're going to make it easier to get out to you and offer the great service that you would expect within Forward RX to be able to come out and get that to you also.
So how's somebody become a member of Forward RX?
Yeah, so a couple different ways. You could either give us a call or stop in the pharmacy. Again, folks don't have to be a member, but there is some additional perks if they do decide to be a member. So the membership is $60 for the year. You get member pricing on your prescription medications, so anywhere from $7 to $9 off our regular prices. You would get. You also would get the included delivery on 90-day supply prescriptions. We also offer another service called a medication cost review. That is included within the membership. What that is is if you have questions about a medication that you think the price is pretty high and you need help just seeing, hey, what other options are out there, either for me to save money or is there a different medication within the same drug class that does the same thing, but there is a generic alternative or a cheaper option. For $15, we'll sit down or we'll go over the phone with you what your options are. If it results in getting a prescription filled with us, we don't charge you the $15. Or if we go through the process and we try to help you and there's no more affordable option, we don't charge you the $15. And, you know, at least that way, so we can still help you find less expensive options, even if it results in not getting the prescription filled with us. Because again, that's really what we want to do. And so that's included for members also. But yeah, either coming in the store or they can check out our website, fwdrx.com. There's a link to become a member, and you can enter your payment information in that way to become a member of the pharmacy.
So if they do, for instance, if somebody does, you know, they come to you and you tell them, hey, there's a more affordable option, is that a trip back to the doctor, or is that something you're able to handle for them?
Most of the time we're able to handle for them. Yeah. Okay. So it usually is a call if it is like changing a medication or making a recommendation, we can do that. So we do a lot of that right now with, you know, expensive blood thinner medications like your Eliquis and Xarelto. You know, those are like $600 a month medications. And even if someone has, we've been hearing, even if they have insurance, what used to be a $45 or $47 copay next year is going up to anywhere from $120 to $150. Well, there's another medication in that class, Pradaxa, where there is a generic available. Our regular price on the month supply of that right now, I believe, is $32.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a heck of a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, that would be an example where we would first make sure that it would still be appropriate to make the switch, that it would still be safe, because there are some, you know, reasons or nuances why, even though they're in the same drug class, they may have different drug interactions, or based on how well your kidneys work, your liver works, you may still want to be on a more expensive option. So we go over all those questions with you, and then we'll make a recommendation to your doctor. And then it usually results in either the doctor saying, you know, okay, and they send us over the new prescription, or, you know, they'll choose not to, you know, go with what we recommend. But for very valid reasons why they think, you know, you're likely best to be put on, you know, even if it is a more expensive option, usually for safety, you know, reasons. But yeah, we usually take care of that, even if it's something where, you know, there is a coupon to be used at another pharmacy, or getting you signed up with a, you know, manufacturer direct program. We kind of take care of that coordination for you on your behalf if you want us to.
Okay. All right, so we're visiting with Brandon Antinopoulos this morning from Forward RX, talking about some of the new exciting things that he's got coming up. That was one. What's the other one?
Yeah, so the other thing we're going to start to offer, we got a lot of requests for, is called multi-dose packaging.
Okay.
Or, you know, some other terms of this would be called like blister packs or bubble packs. So for people, if you take multiple medications throughout the day, or different times throughout the day, or, you know, if your medicine cabinet's filled up with those, you know, 10 to 15 prescription bottles, and it's, you know, becomes a challenge to kind of coordinate that and remember when to take those. And especially for people, if you're taking care of your loved ones, you know, and you can't always be there, to have something to make it a little bit easier for them to take their medications, and you getting the peace of mind to doing that. So we're now offering multi-dose packaging for patients. So we put it in these very nice to follow, color-coded, what day, time of the day, blister packs that we could package all of your medications in there, as well as any over-the-counter items that you may be taking as well. We can put those in there too. Gives you a nice printout list of all your medications that are in there. with the days and the times, and they're pretty customizable. Even if someone may take a medication every other day or just 3 times a week, we can do that. So if you're someone who has multiple medications and would like to get those blister packed, again, we can do that for you. We just charge $15 to do the 28-day packs. If you're someone who's a member of the pharmacy, you get a discounted price of $6. We could also just do single med packs. So sometimes there may be a scenario where, someone doesn't need or they're not on a lot of medications, but they just have one medication that they just want to be put in those blister packs. We could do that for you too. It's a $5 charge or $2 if you're a member.
Okay. So for someone like myself, I take blood pressure and a water pill in the mornings, and then I take fish oil, and then I have over-the-counter Prevacid that I take. So you could package that all up into one thing every day.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, so
that's perfect.
Yeah, so we could package that up. Again, if we have the dosing cards, if you're taking things 4 times a day, that we could put them in there, or we have the dosing cards that it's twice a day, and they have the exact dates on there, the times when to do them. If you're you can easily tear off those packs if you're traveling somewhere and you don't want to take the whole card with you.
Right.
Makes it pretty convenient and pretty easy to remember to take your medications.
That's nice too. If mom and dad live by themselves, and
yes,
you're not real confident that they're taking what they're supposed to, then if they have the certain days, it's even like a checker, because you can check and look and see, okay, well, is that blister pack empty for that day?
Yeah, exactly. And that's where most of the requests that we've come from, like the service, is like for caregivers, either other parents or for other folks, that just for whatever reason have trouble remembering, or their medication regimen's so complex and they just don't have the support there all the time to do that. It does give you that peace of mind and make it a little bit easier for those folks. And yeah, it does work. It's got check system to make sure, hey, did mom or dad or whoever I'm caring for, did they take the right medications when they're supposed to? So yeah, we now have the ability to offer that.
Well, both of those things are kind of old school. I mean,
yeah.
you don't really see anybody deliver. You're not going to get that at a big box store, that somebody's going to deliver your medicine for you.
Walmart's the only one I've seen doing it now, and they charge $10.
Right.
Yep.
But and even at that, I mean, it's still, and then you don't know when they're coming or anything like that. And then, you don't really see, if you had all your medicines in one place, you don't see anybody blister packing them up like that.
Yeah.
So that's old school things. So, and they're great services that you guys offer. So, another thing I wanted to ask you about this morning, you had mentioned when you come in talking about Trump RX. So let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure.
Kind of explain that to everybody, because I had to have you explain it to me, because while I've heard of it, I didn't understand how it kind of works.
Yeah. So kind of how I describe it, it's, think of, we're almost at Forward RX. We're like direct price, no insurance, which works really well on generics. What Trump RX and a lot of the manufacturers are trying to do now, and you'll see a theme here, is going outside of the insurance system to offer more affordable prices on their medications. So what I could tell from what Trump RX and the goal of this is that brand name drug manufacturers can now list directly what their no insurance prices, what their medications would be, on kind of one repository or one website that someone can go to see, okay, if I'm not going to use my insurance, how much will this medication cost me? And, I would love to be able to offer, do the same direct pricing on a lot of those brand name medications. But unfortunately, the way our supply chain works, I can't buy those medications from a wholesaler anywhere near where those manufacturers are offering them at a, direct to patient price, or what they're going to start posting on Trump RX. I would love to. I understand the challenges and the reasons why the manufacturers aren't there yet to where they could sell pharmacies like mine that don't take insurance, their medications at the same price. But I think eventually we're going to start to get there, because again, there's a theme everyone's starting to see here, is that what do you mean I can actually get a cheaper price if I bypass insurance? Isn't insurance supposed to lower the cost of everything? I think that's what it was intended to do early on, but the reality is that's not what we have. So that's why you have pharmacies like mine with generics that are offering more affordable prices at times going outside the insurance system, and why you have the administration now saying, hey, for all you manufacturers that are doing a direct to consumer price for your products on all of your different websites, let's make it easier for everyone and house that information in one place. And even Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Drugs, which is kind of like a national mail order version of us on generics. I believe he's even talked about he's working with them to be able to post his prices on there also. So even though they are a competitor, again, anything that creates this awareness of direct-to-patient pricing and just how much excessive profits there are in the insurance system is I think it's good for patients, it's good for healthcare.
Do you think as they move that direction, that'll start to drive, because people are going to, especially now with all the healthcare and with everything else and food and all that other stuff, as much as everything's costing everybody, do you think eventually people are going to start looking for that cheaper alternative, and it's eventually going to drive the prices down because they're going to have an issue of selling their product where you'll be able to get it from you or Trump RX or something at a cheaper rate, so they're going to start losing their profits?
Yeah, well, the manufacturers won't lose their profits because with the way it works right now, let's say, I mentioned those blood thinners, the Eliquis and Xarelto. So while it may cost me $600 to get a bottle of that and put it on my shelf, that $600 is not ending up in the manufacturer's hands, even after all the markups and all that stuff, because there's a rebate associated with that the manufacturer gives to the insurance companies in order for their products to be on their formulary. So out of that $600, they may only get $200, $240. That's just how much spread or how much, I call it a kickback. The legal term has been called a rebate just to make this whole thing legal. But really, it's a kickback to be able to get their drugs on the formulary. And the insurance companies and the middlemen that work for them say, hey, that's great. You made this new breakthrough drug. It's wonderful. But for anyone to even consider being put on it on a formulary, you got to make your price X and you got to pay us a big fat rebate of Y. And so the manufacturers are now realizing, again, kind of like how we did, there's still a way for them to get a more affordable price for their products to patients without insurance that's not going to hurt their business or their bottom line. Because again, at the end of the day, they're not seeing the $600 that I'm paying my wholesale for the drug. Right. They're only getting $200 or $250. So if they could charge $200 or $250 to get it direct into the patient's hand, it's going to be a win for everyone. Yeah. A win for everyone except for those in the supply chain that made money off of touching that drug.
Yeah, pay to play, basically.
Exactly.
And it's kind of crazy the way it is. So if somebody does want to, say, for instance, I kind of want to explore it a little bit, but I'm not ready to give you a call yet. Is there somewhere they can go to look at like what your pricing is for the certain drugs they're taking? Yeah,
absolutely. So you can go on our website, fwdrx.com.
Okay.
We have a price checker on there. We have medications listed, so you can search for your medication. If there's a medication you're looking for that's not on there, you could just give us a call. It pretty much means it's just something that we haven't dispensed yet. But because we use the same pricing methodology on everything we dispense, it takes less than a minute for us to look up how much it costs for our wholesaler and to be able to give you a price quote for what that is. We are, after the first of the year is our goal, we are going to go to simple pricing structures, so simple whole dollar pricing. So, everyone's hearing about penny shortage, and all these, penny buyback schemes that are happening. We just decided we're going to eliminate the need for change in pennies altogether. So we're working in the process right now that we're just going to have simple whole dollar prices on everything we sell in the store and just kind of get ahead of it and just eliminate the need for change altogether. We'll still take cash because I think everyone's kind of worried that you're only going to be able to pay with your credit card for for anything through all this process. But no, we'll still do that. But
so
we're just going to eliminate the need for change.
You don't want to sucker everybody like Giant Eagle did into giving them all kinds of money for gift cards that you're going to turn around and spend your money at Giant Eagle for?
It's kudos to Giant Eagle for the marketing and the good idea. I mean, I saw right through it.
Right.
I had a feeling that a lot of other people saw right through it. But again, rather than try to figure out ways to trick you into giving me your pennies just so I can hold it, make some money off of it, and give it you back at a later date. In my opinion, the better thing to me is let's just change our pricing to make it so you keep your pennies. Keep your pennies. Hopefully they're worth a lot more than what they are today. And so, rather than trying to trick you into giving us your pennies, we're just going to change our pricing structure to make it more simple.
All right. If somebody'd like to get a hold of you and get some more information on Ford RX, how can they do that?
Yeah, sure. So give us a call, 724-246-6257. Again, you could go to our website. We do have a little contact form you could fill out at the bottom if you want to submit an email question. You can click on the Contact Us link at the bottom. Or you could just stop on in the pharmacy right there on the main street of New Brighton. So we're at 809 3rd Avenue in New Brighton. We're open Monday through Friday from 9 to 6 and Saturdays from 9 to 1.
All right, Brandon, we'll see you next month. You're the second Tuesday of each month?
Tuesday, yep.
All right, so you'll be back at your regular slot and time next month, so we'll see you then.
All right, sounds good. Thank you very much.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk about the government shutdown, and we're going to talk about the Veterans Day Parade, and we're going to talk about Pulaski Township and that fun mess that's going on there. Coming up after news here on Beaver County Radio.
If you own a company or a small business, you might have considered advertising on radio. It's smart because radio